He goes away, fine. If he comes back, fine. I mean, you don't have to let your ideals and the norms of life that is commonly accepted as being something which is right. The fact that it is commonly accepted doesn't mean that it's right. We must remember we are coming from a generation where other people toppled other people. The siege that took place, they took over the lives of other people. Other people were colonized by other people. And they have enforced their laws on you. It could be not in a sense of a true peaceful nature. But the peace that they settled with you was with some sort of terms and conditions. And today, we live life with rich countries with their terms and conditions and superseding everything. If you don't accept what they present to you, or what the unipolar world, or the richest and the powerful world will control, put before you, there will be so many undermining going on. They will neglect you so much. You get frustrated. You'll be so poor. You'll be in need that you will give in. That's what we call sanction. You'll be sanctioned in such a way that people will not understand why you've been put through that. And you will give in, you poor poverty, but maybe you, the leader, you'll be okay, but the country will go through a lot. Cuba and there's countries that are facing these kind of sanctions. It's not easy. And for you to survive this, it won't be easy. Because their power, they are exhibiting their power. It's not about peace. It's not it is force. They're using force to achieve the aim because they feel that the stubbornness is beyond. People are rattling behind leaders who haven't got the credibility that they feel that they should have, in terms of a leader who is there lifelong. And they have invented a good idea, which is good. I accept democracy. You are there for 4 years, you go. I mean, whatever laws you came, it is there. You are following the plan or the rules of the country. It's changeable. Parliament is there. A whole lot of people have the opportunity to decide and make laws. Yours is to lead the country for 4 years. Your ideas will be, you supersede it for 4 years, and then you go. You don't become possessed with it. You can give it a next term. You can give you another chance for 4 years again, and you go. That's it. That's how it's been applied. It's a good idea. If people get on the throne for long enough, they get possessed by it. It begins to control their mind. They're human beings, no matter how you see them. If they are not so strong to give up, Ghana, the president, gave up for 20 years. But he done it before, so it was maybe good advice or something. He was touched and he decided not to risk his life more and more. He gave in, and the transition took place nicely, and democracy is happening in a place like Ghana. But in certain places, they can do leadership. Leaders are holding on. Leaders are holding on. There are leaders who started the journey and they gave up to democracy, which is a good thing. No matter where it's coming from, whether it's coming from the West or whichever way it is. As long as it's a good idea, accept it's fine. They also, the West has got their own also lacks or some issues about them which nobody can really understand why they are so, centered in that selfish way of doing things, that they are so they really are not so open or openly they're a bit stingy. They are more stingy, but they don't make it look like that's what they are. They can give you some aid and prevent something in the paperwork and make it look as if this is what they've been giving to the UN, providing this billion of money to the UN. But it doesn't come that way. The UN will admit that. You see, this money that they come to make promises of, they don't really meet that promise that they normally say. We'll come and give you this. America say we'll give you by the year that we'll be giving you 20 billion. They don't just give it just like that. Just give you their word, signed documents, but it just doesn't happen that way. But let us before we deviate from the whole thing, we hold on to this here. It says Deuteronomy 23. Verse 21 and 22. You have to keep this and remember always, that in this life, you cannot underestimate any sort of commitment you go into and think that, oh yeah, it's fine. There's nothing that I'm going to have issues of. My life will not be tackled in a bad way. I'll be okay. Go and sit before Holo Sasabonsam. This is what some of the local name I'll give to some of the what we call the paganist worship and all that. And he's going to tell you, you make promises, and he do something for you. The Spirit does something for you, and it works. You have to live up to your promise. That is what the Bible is saying here. Jehovah is the same thing. He's also a spirit. That is what the Bible says. He's a spirit. When we read John 4:23 to 24, it tells you there. He said, because God is a spirit, he is looking for those who worship him in spirit and in truth. God is a spirit. Jehovah, you see, he's talking about Jehovah. He is the God we are talking about. The Bible is presented to you, the God of the Bible. The God of the Bible says here in Deuteronomy 21:22, when you make a vow to the Lord your God, and this also becomes a general statement, including even if any God at all. Either you are making it to Allah, or you are making it to Jehovah, or you are making it to Buddha, or you are making it to any pagan god, whichever you might see it. You shall not delay to pay it. Don't waste time. The agreement says 1 month time. Do that. You do that. If you don't, problem. If you go to make a vow on an altar, till death do us apart, and in 3 months time, you are still alive, and yet you divorce. Even now, the Roman Catholic are finding ways they're going to sit down and discuss how to allow divorce. Something that they never thought of. Now they are giving in. Then every day as time goes on, we give up the faith. We give up slowly and easily. We are beginning to understand that the faith in regards to the Bible or in regards to Quran, all those things, is like it's an old inventive ideas that is not applicable. Because the more they give in, so the more they realize that this is the core of the problem. This is where the roots of the problem is. The curses we are having today, where do we think it's coming from? Have we forgot the vows that we have made? The vows that our fathers made and put us into? It is more of a sense of the fathers. Fine, that can be the issue. That is exactly what I'm thinking. You don't want to think that way, fine, so be it. The AIDS and the problem, the diseases that has come upon us, the curses, the gods that we worship, the gods that we gave ourselves to, the vows we made, whether you made it, your friends make it, your sister make it, or your religion, those neighbors that you see, whatever religious things they are into, they have invited the alien. They don't really know their God. Even if they knew their God, they have made a promise. The Jews made huge sums of promise every day. A religious man makes a lot of promise vows every day, and yet they cannot even fulfill any of these vows. And they quiet because vows are something made private between you and your God. So who knows what vows the human race have been making? Nobody can tell these things. But it is there practically. It is relative fact. This is something where you say, I know I've been there. I know I've made my vows. I've made them. Ignorantly, I did the vows. Others are doing it now, and they have no knowledge that they are doing it in the state of ignorance. They're doing it because they truly believe that they have to do that, and they're committing themselves surely that they can fulfill. And if they fail, who knows they fail. And when the cases come, you are included. You start having problems too. Because as long as the Spirit comes, and even if you get delivered, it will want to rest somewhere else. And there will be somebody there innocently walking there. And if that person is empty, that they can fill themselves inside, they go in there. Because it has already come. The Spirit won't go. It will be around enjoying the moment. You travel to New York, you have a time of all the time you like in your life. And whatever you went there to do, you finish doing. But you have all the time in your life. What would you do? You take time there, enjoy yourself till whatever time that you can live, you decide to live. The Spirit in the same manner. But the idea is you don't do the will of saying, I will be with you forever and ever. And you know you can't. You will go along the line, you fall apart, you do whatever. The Spirit will require of you. Not just you and the children and the family, they all have the problem. There are so many families that don't understand why there's some curse in the family. There's somebody cares us. Why is that? Sometimes they have to find ways to dig around to find it. And then if they're able to go and see some spiritualist, he will tell them This is what happens. Your mother and your father did this